I want to give people an indication of the sort of intimacies that Paul and Dione have shared with us on Sylvania Waters. Will you have a look at this clip from a recent episode?
Come here. Come and watch this. Bug. Don't let this pretty face fool you. She's lethal.
You deserved it.
Look at that. That's me. From bottom, goes in the bottom there. Shoulder went through the hole, and head went like that. Another hole over there. It's been hidden by the cupboard. Husband bashing. Look at that. Oh, Brutus. Don't let Kylie fool you. She's a thug.
Are you telling them what you did?
How you threw me through these walls. I did nothing, honest. I didn't do the dishes one day, probably. That's how it happened.
No, it's not.
How did it happen, Possum?
We were having a fight about our relationship, and you said that you wanted to break up, or I did.
Yes. And I said,
and
no.
you said, get out of my life, or get out or somewhere. And I said, I've got nowhere to go. And then we had a fight, and I punched you and that, and I pushed you through the walls because you hurt my feelings, and the only way I could retaliate was with anger.
Now, OK, you're hiding your head in your hands. How did you feel? How did, that obviously happened. That was obviously real life. Now, how did you feel when you saw that going to air? And what sort of repercussions do you have from things like that when they're seen by everybody?
I cringe. That's all I can do is just say, oh, Paul, why did you leave them in there and show them that? Honestly, those walls were paper thin. You only had to lean on them and you fall through.
Made of concrete.
But how much has this changed your life since this has gone to air and everybody has seen this inside view of your lives, and even your own family has seen things that you didn't know were said, did you?
It's like a backstabbing session, but you get to see what was backstabbed. Plus, like, life's changing, has changed a lot. Like, I've got a second job that I do cleaning, and I'm forever being recognised. Or you go shopping. Me and Dione went shopping once up at Hurstville, and that was just incredible. We had to leave the place because so many people recognised us. And it's changed a lot, but, you know, I don't think I'd say I'd never do it again, or I wish I never did it. Sometimes you say, yeah, I wish I never did it. But for all the exposure and, you know, the things that have come out of it, I'm glad I did it in a way.
Are you? Because a lot of things were said within the family that had never really been said to each other before.
Oh, well, they've been known they've been said, because, like, everyone gets back to each other, or so-and-so said this, or so-and-so. It's like, it's a real good bitching session sometimes. That's the way I see it. Like, as I say, people backstab you, and then you finally get to see what they have been saying about you.
See, a lot of it was out of context too. Like, some things were said once, but they've been shown 3 or 4 times in different episodes. So,
So, in fact, it has distorted to some extent what was recorded as real life. It has been contrived as a, well,
that's
in the way that a television soap is contrived.
Before it went to air, because if I had seen, or I'm sure if the family had seen all the tapes before they went to air, I'm sure there would have been a lot more fuss kicked up about showing them, honestly, because it's just, it's caused a slight rift in the family, and, I mean, it's not made our lives completely, you know, sunny.
No, I mean, I would think it's probably changed all your lives.
Yeah.
To a very large extent.
Yeah.
I mean, will the family relationships ever be the same, do you think, now that they've been exposed to this sort of...
What's been said has been said in the past, so, you know, everyone will be able to let bygones be bygones, as I said to Laurie before, and, you know, just go on with your life, go on to be in the family, you know. We're not always going to be in harmony, like some other shows might show families always in harmony, you know. That's not true, because you always have your fallouts, especially with, like, step-parents and stuff like that. You're not always going to agree what that new man or new woman has come into your life and said that you can't do, you know, or you've got to do this. You can't. It's hard to come to terms with someone coming into your life and disciplining you or telling you exactly what to do. So, you know, I just take it with a grain of salt, you know. If I see Mick or Laurie or my brother or my mum say something nasty about me, it's just, oh, well, you know, it's nothing that hasn't been said before.
And how have Nolene and Laurie, and you and Dione too, coped with the sort of public flack that you've taken? Because a lot of people who've watched it have been horrified at what they've seen and have said so. How do you feel when you hear all that sort of stuff?
Well, a lot of it's not, from what we hear, is directed at us. I think Nolene and Laurie are copying a lot of it, and I'd hate to be in their shoes. But from what we've spoken to people, like in the street, you know, who recognise us and they say, look, you know, we can really relate to you guys, but, you know, the other side's just completely different. So, if anything, we get, you know, a lot of, I don't know.
Good press.
Yeah.
Good
people
feedback.
are sort of saying, you're so brave to have done something like that, you know, so it's good.